Welcome to the Pet Stop. I'm Dr. Brian Voynick. You know, spring is officially around the corner, and those new plants popping up everywhere can be quite enticing for your pet. Want to make sure your garden stays intact this season? Well, Master Trainer Greg Kleva is here with some helpful tricks and tips for us. Great to see you again.
Nice to see you, Dr. Voynick. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It was fun being together at Westminster this year as well.
It was a good time. Big surprise on that winter today.
So why do dogs get into the garden as they do and root? I know my dog's one of them.
Yeah, dogs love to get in the garden, and they will exhibit some destructive behaviors. They've been inside all winter long. Yep. They're going to be spending more time outdoors now, and when they do, they can certainly get themselves into trouble. There's a lot of different reasons why they may exhibit destructive behaviors in the garden, you know, digging, chewing on plants, that type of thing. It can come down to boredom. It can come down to nutritional deficiency. It can come down to education, stress, anxiety. There's a lot of reasons. Sometimes they just bury resources. It's a very instinctual thing for dogs to do, to dig. Their ancestors, wolves, used to bury their bones in their food and go back for it later. So it's kind of an inborn thing in our dogs.
So how do we prevent this, Greg?
Oh, I can always kind of tell why the dog is digging holes based on the number of holes, where they are, the size of the hole. So I like to look at the whys. Why is the dog digging? And then determine how I can prevent it. So for example, if I see holes along the foundation, that's typically a dog that's looking for shelter, a place to lay down. If that's the case, you can provide your dog with a dog house or some kind of a cool place to lay down in the warmer months that are coming up. If there's holes around the perimeter of the yard, oftentimes the dog is trying to escape. Maybe its basic needs, its canine needs aren't being met in its environment that it's at now, so it's going to try to get out to look for those elsewhere. Again, boredom is a huge factor. I see dogs that will dig if they hear water running under sprinkler systems, or to chase a critter down into the ground. They'll dig for that as well. So there's a lot of reasons why they do it.
And genetically as well, as we saw at Westminster, you know, the terrier group, they're made to dig, you know, and look for rodents and that type of things. You know, other dogs are sniffing the air more than being, you know, paying attention to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
very, very true.
Well, can all dogs, do you think, be prevented from digging?
You can train your dog not to dig through education, you know, taking some time, spending some time training the dog. However, because it is such an instinctual behavior, like you just said, it is hard to get some dogs to stop digging. Where that's the case, we recommend providing your dog with a digging pit, someplace acceptable in the yard for the dog to dig. You never want to punish your dog for digging, but you can set up, like, for lack of a better explanation, a sand pit like you would for a child. I've had some of my customers use a kiddie wading pool, fill it with clean sand, put some of your dog's toys or treats in there. If you catch them digging in the yard, redirect them towards the acceptable place to dig and give them lots of praise for that.
And cover it at night so that cats don't get in it and you promote roundworms.
You don't want a litter box there.
Hey, thanks so much. Great to have you.
Thanks, Dr. Voynick.
Folks, here's what we have in store for you for next week. And remember, you can catch the Pet Stop every Saturday and Sunday at 45 minutes past the hour, starting at 6:30 a.m. And here's your fun fact of the week. An adult dog has 42 teeth, and some of them we've seen with 44. We've seen some pretty special animals here in the Pet Stop.